Hello and a very warm welcome once again to the Storage Cupboard, and delighted to say hello to Damian Hall. Damian, hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, thanks.
Thanks very much for joining us. This is good for me because you're a Barbadian entry in the official mini challenge e-racing series. How on earth did you get involved in this series?
It was just a matter of trying to find a championship that would allow people from our region to enter because it's a challenge nowadays to find championships that welcome people from the Caribbean region. Normally it's from European nations or from the US, but I managed to, well, the team managed to locate this series.
We're very glad that you did. It really does add a cosmopolitan feel to what is a very competitive championship. What are your thoughts on the races we've had so far?
The races are very competitive, very exciting. Um, I wasn't really surprised at I can't say that I was surprised at the level of skill. I've heard of a few of the names, both in the sim racing arena and the real world. Um, but it's been very exciting.
Tell us a little bit about your sim racing experience, your history, and also maybe a bit about the rig that you're sitting in right now.
Oh, well, I'm not actually sitting in my rig. This is just my
Okay.
office chair, but I use a play seat. Then I use Phonetic V3 pedals and a TSPC Racer Thrustmaster wheel.
And how did you get to where you are? Because I gather you've got a fair bit of experience and a lot of success as well in sim racing.
Yeah, it started, well, professionally or semi-professionally in 2017. I had taken a more serious approach to sim racing, and a longtime friend of mine, Richard Braun, he saw the interest and he saw the potential in me and esports in general. So he started a team, Apex Fever, which I drive under right now. And we started to enter small communities at first, and then we went into the first serious championship that we entered was with the ACR Actual Vision, the LMP3 Can-Am Pro Championship, which I happened to
Congratulations.
win. I won that the season one. And then from there, we went on to the Electronic Sporting League, ESL, and I captured a couple of podiums on the weekend championships in Project Cars 2. Then from there, we went on to the Race Room Championships, and I was fortunate, well, skilled enough to make it to the FIA WTCR, the Oscaro Esports Championship. I managed to be the first Barbadian to do that, to make it to an international event. And from there, we just kept going. And this year, we managed to make it to the top split of the race room GP. That was at the virtual Shanghai GP just after COVID had hit, and all the sport events started to come to a halt. And we made it to the top split. Didn't manage to get a podium in that event, but at least we made it there. And then it was on to the mini challenge.
Must be a big difference racing something like the first formula you mentioned there was LMP3.
Yeah,
Uh, LMP3 to mini challenge, completely different disciplines. How different are those
completely.
disciplines for a sim racer? Because for a real world racer, there's a gulf between those two. But how do you perceive it?
It has to be the same. I haven't experienced it in real world, but it has to be similar because there's there's a blurred line, I would say, between real and simulation. But it is a big difference. If they say it's a big difference, I can relate because it definitely feels that way. But I'm slowly adjusting, slowly getting into it.
Oh, it's great. Good to have you along. And in the real world, your job is that you're part of the police service out there. Is that right?
Yeah, I am working for the Royal Barbados Police Force at present. Yeah.
Are they keeping you busy? What's life like as a policeman out there?
Well, every day is not the same, which is what I love about it. It's very satisfying. It's always rewarding to be able to do a service to your community. Um, and you have the opportunity to do a number of things. If I wasn't in the police force, I probably wouldn't have the opportunity to fly drones, for instance, because I'm a trained drone pilot now. Um, a number of different fields you can get into. It's an exciting time to be on the force.
Do you get over here, like over here you have the opportunity to do advanced driving, and did that come through police service as well? Because I know you've done track days as well, so is there a tie-in with driving for yourself and for the police?
Oh, we do have driver's training, but I normally do track days on my own, but it was normally with motorcycles, with super sport bikes. The local track used to have an open day where the bikers can go on the track and utilize the track. But I always wanted to do it further than just a track day, but finances was always a limiting factor.
Yeah, it's always key, isn't it, to anybody wanting to race? And the track, is that Bushy Park circuit that you would use?
Yeah, Bushy Park.
Some of the people that have followed my race commentaries over the years might know last year we had a Barbadian winning the F4 British Championship over here, youngster by the name of Zane Maloney. How well is he followed out in Barbados?
Yeah. Everybody knows Zane. Yeah.
Tell us about some of the other drivers, and maybe also what other disciplines you can race out there.
Well, there's the biggest one is rally, obviously, yep. And another another team member of Apex Fever, he actually rallies in real life, and he actually won the virtual Rally Barbados. His name is Jeremy Gonzalez.
Damian, I mentioned Bushy Park being the Barbadian racetrack, but a two-pronged question for you. What international racetrack would you like to go and race at if you had the choice? And if you were an international racer, where is the nearest track geographically to Barbados? If you didn't have a track on Barbados, what would be your home track elsewhere?
International track?
Yeah.
The closest one would be Brazil.
Okay.
Brazil. Yeah. And one track that I would really like to, well, there are two international tracks that I would really love to drive. It would be Silverstone, and the other one would be Spa.
Okay, so we did Silverstone, didn't we, last week? So that's good. We're not going to Spa on Mini Challenge, but I gather as well that you do tutorials on how to drive, sort of track driving tutorials. So I guess you've done those two tracks, have you?
Yeah.
And where can people see those?
You can see them on my Facebook. It's at Copper Piston. Facebook.com/Copper Piston.
Excellent. We'll get people to check that out. And before we go, just what are your thoughts? We're halfway through the campaign for the official Mini Challenge e-racing series with Virtual Racing Club. What are your hopes for the remaining 4 rounds?
I just would love to continue improving. So far, my best result has been 10th, and I've been very happy with that. But I know I can do a lot better. I know I can do a lot better now. I'm getting a grasp for the car. I just want to finish better than I started.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hopefully we'll see you back for the winter series as well. I know there's talk about a winter series. And what would be even better would be to get you over here in the UK and get you some seat time in one of the cars as well. And if we can't get seat time, you'd be a very welcome visitor to any of our paddocks, and hope that does become a reality, that we do get to meet you for real at some point. I think you've got right in saying you've got a young family as well that you're looking after.
Yeah, I have a wife and 3 kids, 2 biological and 1 stepdaughter, all girls. So I'm outnumbered.
Well, they're good to have around. We wish them and you very well. Good luck for the rest of the campaign, and thanks ever so much for chatting to us today. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you.